Hello, everyone there, out there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time is at your end. I am Samuel Adebayo doing, and we are here today to continue on our series, Having the Right Mindset Before Marriage. Please, if you are joining us, please join us and share with your friends because this topic is going to be interesting, informative, and it will be a message or a topic that people will benefit from. Something that will change lives, change homes, change our society. Hi, Derek. It's a pleasure having you on the platform. We are glad to see you here. Hello, George Muebe. Thank you for joining us. Hello, June. Good to see you. We are glad to have you here. It's a pleasure having you here on the platform. Thank you for joining us. Yesterday, we will be speaking about the right mindset before marriage. Hello, Mr. Tumushabe. Thank you for joining us. We are glad to see you here on the platform. Uh, Last week, we had a wonderful time together, Esther and I, and we are sharing and giving advices for youths, for singles, older singles who are planning to marry or who desire to marry, giving you insights so that when the time comes and when it is your turn, you will know what marriage is all about. You will know how to apply the things that you've learned to your marriage. Hello, Wycliffe Oyesiye. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Edith Osarobo. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure having you here on the platform. Hi, Joel Stanley. Thank you for joining us. It is a pleasure having you here. Thank you, everybody, for coming on the platform. It's a good thing to have you all here because the topic is I want to marry because I am now a man. Wow. I am now a man, not just a male. Now, that topic is a topic that, well, many people will take for granted, but many should, I mean, all of us shouldn't take it for granted because the basis of the society is the man. The basis of a society is the man. You know, we are talking about whatever you see here today, is being reformed, is being recreated, is being improved upon, is being redesigned, is being structurally placed in such a way to fulfill the needs of a man, of human beings here on earth. So first, when I talk about a man, intellectually, I am speaking about men and women in general. Okay, so I am not just talking about the male counterpart alone. Okay, but if you look at it carefully, it speaks well to the male, the man, all right, the male figure. Okay, all right. So I will be talking about I want to marry because I am now a man, not just a male. Hello, Eddie Kandiga. Thank you for joining us. Actually, please, if you are joining us, let your friends know, and that can be seen when you share the video the live broadcast, maybe on your wall. People will see what you're up to, and they can also benefit from it as well. You can call your friends, you can invite friends, you know, you can invite friends, invite your colleagues, invite your family members, invite your neighbors, invite your pals. Yeah, invite your pals, invite every man out there. Someone should benefit from this live broadcast. Okay, now, as we have said, marriage is not for kids. Marriage is for adults. It's for matured people. All right. But now, today, we are not just talking about maturity alone, but we are talking about the real concept of a man. The real concept of a man. So please join us as we begin. Okay? Now, different people have different understanding, different notions of who a man is. In today's media, the movie industry portrays a real man as the one who can fight for himself, the one who uses high-tech gadgets, the one who is smartly dressed in clean suits, the one who has a high taste of selective wine or whiskey and can swirl around any lady, the one who of course, maybe who has a taste of posh cars. Okay, this is the idea. This is the concept of a man that is evidently shown in the media, and not just the media alone, including the film or movie industry. From time, if you look at the James Bond movies, it characterizes the single or the protagonist, the actor there, as a man with these characteristics. And even to present day movies, present day films, if you see the male figure, the man is being characterized by the things I mentioned. That number one is someone who can defend himself, who can fight for himself. Number two is someone who uses high technology, all right? And number three is someone who knows how to dress smartly well, okay? So, like wearing nice, clean, well-designed suits, okay? Someone who has a high taste of selective wine or whiskey, and someone who can woo a woman, all right? And finally, someone who drives Porsche cars. If you agree with me, please write your comments on the comment section. If you think I am wrong, also write your comments in the comment section. Let us share our ideas with each other. Thank you, Derek Teams, for joining us. It's a pleasure having you here on the platform. Hi, Wambale Babinga. Thank you for joining us here on the platform. Biamugisha, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly. Please forgive me. Thank you for joining us here on the platform. Rodney, thank you also for joining us here on the platform. So please, in as much as we are talking about this topic, feel free to write your comments, because your comments actually gives us the understanding that we are following, we are learning something new, and this is how we can actually rub shoulders together. Please share this live broadcast so that people can benefit from it. Yeah, so I have given us a pictorial concept of who a man is in the standard of the world, in the standard of the media. Okay, so and that is what we can see. In as much as these movies, as I have spoken earlier, has some sense of who a man is, usually they are interpreted in wrong ways. Okay, thereby giving the wrong impressions of who a man is by we watching these movies or seeing these movies on TV. Okay, we see it on the newspapers, on magazines, or even we read them in books. It doesn't. I mean, it gives us the idea of who a man is, and then unconsciously we begin to think that way. I can give instances of when I was growing up. A man naturally wants to imitate. A man naturally wants to imitate. So by going to to watch this kind of movies as a young boy, all I did was to replicate or to imitate the kind of man that was being shown in the movies. Okay? And this is also the same story with so many other people. Okay? And that is because it gives us a wrong impression. The way a man is being portrayed gives the understanding that is all that a man is, and that is not right. That is not true. That is not sound. Okay, a man is much more than this. Okay, so for you to say that you want to marry because I am now a man, then it means that you have to really tell us what you mean by that. What you mean by that? Okay? Are you a man because you have grown past the stage of being a teenager? Because of course they say if you have crossed the stage of 18, you can vote and be voted for. You have your rights as a full human being, okay, according to the law. All right, but does that make you a man? The fact that you are now living alone, you have your own apartment or your own room that you pay yourself, does that make you a man? The fact that when you are being confronted, you are able to defend yourself physically, does that make you a man? The fact that you can woo women, I'm sorry to say, I'm a man, but this is the truth. The fact that you can woo women, the fact that you can sleep with them, does that make you a man? This is a critical way of assessing ourselves, of what we confess or profess. So what gives you the understanding that you are now a man. Because you have to really understand what a man is all about. Okay? Now, this topic is thanks to one of my mentors, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, because he gave us the understanding of the concept of a man. All right? But I have done some other study and understanding to the conclusion of who a man is. And that is what we should clearly understand, that a man is not just a male figure. A man is far much more than that. Hello, Lisa. It's a pleasure to see you here on the platform. Hi, Nasusi Charles. Thank you for joining us here on the platform. Now, this topic is a topic that concerns everyone, every human being here on the face of the earth, regardless of whether we are Africans, Asians, we are from Europe, from the Western world. It doesn't matter, because as human beings, as men, men are men, regardless of race, color, or any kind of heritage that we have received. Okay? Or what our personal evolutions are. Okay? We're talking about what gives us the idea that we are men. Okay? Now, before we continue further, I want to give us a description, and I will pose a question to you. Okay? Now, I told you earlier that many people or many men are natural, or men naturally are natural imitators. We are born to imitate. Okay? Now, because of the things that we have seen around us, we have formed a concept in our minds of who a man is. And we try to be this kind of man. All right? Now, there is now a problem. If you do not fall into the description of what I mentioned earlier, then there is a general saying that you are not man enough. Okay? It's a general saying that you are not, in quotes, man enough. All right? So if you do not drink alcohol, for example, if you do not woo ladies for the purpose of sleeping with them, if you do not drive fast cars, if you don't have much money, you are not man enough. And unfortunately, many ladies out there think this way too. Okay? So, and that is a problem. So, if you're watching us here live, I want you to share your thoughts with me. What are the things that you have heard some people say, or things that you yourself think, that can make you conclude that a man is not man enough? Please, I want you to write your comments in the comment section. Let us reason together. Hi, Chinwe, Sister Chinwe, we are glad to have you here on the platform. It's a pleasure seeing you here every Saturday. Gives us a lot of encouragement. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I pose a question. Please, we want you to interact. Okay, let's interact with each other. All right. Please write your comment in the comment section. Write, what have you seen that some men do or do not do that makes people say that they are not man enough? Please write your comment in the comment section. I am waiting because this will give me the clue to understand what we are thinking and how we can flow. At least if I see one or two responses, that will give me the go ahead. Hello, Christian Ronald. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure having you on the platform. Yes, we are talking about, I pose a question and I want some responses that should give us the understanding of what we are. Okay, Sister June says, I have heard that a man should not consider marriage if they don't have a job or own a house. Okay, that's true. All right. Yes, I have heard this also, in a lot of ways. Now, let me pin this comment because I'll return to it later. Okay. All right. Let's hear more of let's hear more comments, please. Let's hear more comments, please. A man, she says, I have heard that a man should not consider marriage if they don't have a job or own a house. Okay, maybe I should just quickly address this. Okay, I may not be able to give you the full answer right now because at the end of this broadcast, you should be able to come up with a better understanding. Okay, so yes, some people say if you don't have a job, you're not man enough. Okay, if you don't own a house, you're not man enough. Okay, well, the issue of a job is really compulsory, not just for a man alone, but for everybody. Because as a human being, you ought to be fulfilling purpose. And when you are fulfilling purpose, you are naturally performing a duty. All right? And then your duty earns you, a living. Okay, so you can say that is a job. So if you don't have something that you are doing, okay, not necessarily giving you much money, okay, when I say something valuable, something impactful, something that that can improve situations of people, or things, that could be that's what we're talking about. So if you are not doing any of these things, then we can say that you're not man enough. Okay, but yes, apart from this, okay, well, the issue of owning a house, yes, well, does that make you not man enough? Does that make you not man enough? Well, we're going to answer this much more later. Okay. All right. June says, others think you are not man enough if your wife or wife to be is more educated or earns more money than you. Good one. Good one. I have also heard many kinds of expressions such as this. Hey, where are the men? Guys, please read your comments. This is your topic. This is what concerns you. Please, I want you to make your comments. Let's see. Let's share together. Let's share together. We need you to make comments because it will help us to understand what we are talking about. What can you, or what do you see about men that makes you think they are not man enough? Okay. Because of our time, I think we'll just continue. And if I see your comments, I'll pause and try to read your comments. If you're joining us, we are glad to have you here on the platform. Bob, thank you for joining us. Castillo Bernard, thank you for joining us. Christian Roberts, thank you for joining us. Mr. Peter Ajayi, thank you for joining us. We are glad to have you here. It's a pleasure to see you here on the platform. Okay, let's just proceed. Now, the issue of we hearing about someone who is not man enough is because of the formed understanding, the formed ideology of who a man is. Now, this formed concept or ideology may not necessarily be true, okay? May not be true, but if it is true, then we will find out shortly, okay? Now, actually, the ideal man has an aura of taking charge, okay? So really, if you look at these movies that we see, okay, on TV or in the cinema, it's all about taking charge, all right? Actually, a man is called a take charge man. A man is called a take charge man. A man is a person who takes action. A man is a person who is in control. But taking action and being in control or controlling people based on a sick, corrupt, or wrong attitude, wrong belief, or environment, a wrong culture, wrong philosophy, or stream of thoughts based on a religious belief usually produces a negative or misrepresented image of the real man. I want to take this again. Even though the ideal man is someone who takes charge, as we can see, that the media tries to, portray a man to us. Even though he is a take charge man, taking action and being in control or controlling people based on a sick, corrupt, or wrong attitude, wrong belief, wrong environment, wrong culture or philosophy, wrong stream of thought based on a religious belief. These actually produce a negative or misrepresented image of the real man. Okay? And that is a big problem. That is a big problem. Now, quickly, to find the true meaning of a real man, we should not go too far. All we need to do is to go to the person or to the one who created man himself. Hello? Please, let's go to find out from God who made man. If you are able to, this is how it is. If you buy a gadget and you are using the gadget the way you think is right, you may run into problems. But when you go to the manufacturer will give you the guide, the blueprint, the perfect understanding of that product, how it functions, the capacity that it can function, and in what area it will function best. So let's go back to God. Now, in the Holy Bible, we read in Ezekiel chapter 22, 29 to 30. It says, the people of the land have practiced oppression and committed robbery, and they have wronged the poor and the needy, and have oppressed the sojourner without justice. I searched for a man among them who would build up the wall and stand in the gap before me for the land, so that I would not destroy it, but I found none. Now, in these two verses of the Bible, it gives us the understanding or the picture of what is found in society as a result of the wrong concept of who a man is and the original concept that God has in mind when he created us as men. So let us dissect this quickly. Number one, a man is not someone who is interested in oppressing people. So if you think you want to get married, if you think that you are now a man, the first question I will pose to you is, how do you live your life? Do you live your life to oppress people? Now, when I say oppression, the big picture of oppression is like when you enslave people, when you force people to do what you want them to do. Okay, that's oppression. But oppression comes in different forms. When as a person, you make people to be enslaved to you, by making them to be subject to your design, to your purpose, then you are indirectly oppressing them because you don't give them the free will to choose what they want or what they do not want. That's oppression. Okay? All right? Number two, a man is not the person who is interested in robbery. That is taking things that do not belong to you. Do you take things that do not belong to you? Hello? I'm talking to us men. As men, all we have, all that we own, do we rob people? Some people, you know, when we do business, or when we transact business, people rob each other based on what the other person does not know. They rob each other based on the other person's ignorance. All right? And they capitalize on that, you know, and they take from them for their possessions. All because they do not know, they don't have the right knowledge. That's an example of robbery. So it is not until you take a gun and you shoot a person, that is when, you pose a gun to someone and to force the person to give you what they own. That's when you have robbed. Actually, people rob in different ways. The next point is, a man is not the person who wrongs the poor and the needy. What do I mean? Now, in the society that we are today, we live in a capitalist system, a system where the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. All right? Now, are you someone who sees the poor and the needy and tries to help them get out of their poverty? Or are you someone who sees the poor and the needy and yet tries to take from them, even though they are poor and they are needy, because you want to get richer? That's number one. Are you someone who sees the poor and the needy and you know that because they are poor and they are needy, they are not given support, they are not backed up because they don't have enough resources to fight for their rights? They don't have the best lawyers to defend them. They don't have the best advocates to stand for them. The system is against them. All right? Everything is working contrary to them and against them. And you see their condition, and yet you push them away. Yet you disregard them. Are you someone who does this? And I'm sorry to say, you are not a man. Because the definition that God gives us here is that a man is not someone who does these kind of things. He says here, and a man is not someone who oppresses the sojourner without justice. Who is a sojourner? For example, I'm living not in my country. I'm living in a different country. Now, as a foreigner, a sojourner is a foreigner. I move from where I come from to a different land. Now, because I'm a foreigner and you are a citizen of that place, you see me as someone who should not be respected, because I have come to your land to start up a living. If you behave this way, wherever you are, whether in Africa or all around the world, then you are not a man. Because a man does not oppress foreigners. Okay? Now, who is a man according to God's standard? A man is the opposite of the things I have mentioned. Number one, a man does not oppress people. A man does not rob people of their possessions and their will. A man would rather lift the poor and the needy. A man would rather support the foreigners, will help them to get justice. And a man would look for everything that is important to ensure these things I have mentioned is done. That is the idea of a man. Esther says a real man is a father to all those around him. He defends the needy in his community. That's right, Esther. You have well spoken. Okay, let's proceed, please. Now, we are talking about having the right mindset before marriage. Okay? If you have the right concept of who a man is, then you will begin to imitate or present the real idea of a man. Now, the topic says, I want to marry because I am now a man, not a male. What is the difference between a male and a man? In the next few minutes, I'll give us differences and I'll try to give us examples that will give us understanding of who we are, so that when we are thinking about marriage, when we are getting into marriage, when we are planning about marriage, planning to marry, then we will think, act, and behave like a man. All right? Number one, what is the difference between a male and a man? Simply, a male is the counterpart of a female. That is, there is the female and there is the male. The male is the opposite of a female. Whereas a man is not just a male, but he is a characterized human being. What do I mean? He is well defined in his approach to things and issues. A male will want to prove himself as being different from a female by his physical features. Okay? But a man is not concerned about that. A man is defined in his approach to things and issues. Why? Because a man is complete, not just in physical form, but also in the intellect as well. Okay? Number two, a male is defined as having physical and biological attributes that makes him more different from a female. For example, he has a masculine figure. He has built muscles. He has a male sexual organ. All right? And, he flaunts it around. But a man is different from the basic idea of a male. Because while a man has the features of a male, he is able to channel his physical, biological attributes with sound intellectual reasoning to achieve a justifiable purpose. So even if a man is masculine, he uses his masculinity, to achieve a justified purpose. For example, if a man is seen on the streets and another man has an accident, the man will not just take a selfie of the accident and post it on the internet, on Facebook or any other social media. No, the man will rush to that scene and will try to save the one that has an accident. So you see, he channels his physical attributes, his intellect to achieve a justifiable purpose. That is a man. Number 3, let's see what our people are saying. Okay, thank you, Esther, for helping us to write this thing so that people can, benefit from this. Okay. Number 3, a male tries to prove himself by exercising his physical attributes. So, for example, you must have heard the tag bullying, not just in schools anymore, but even in the workplace, in society. You see a man is bullying another man, or is bullying a woman. A superior is bullying the subordinate, okay, and things like that. Okay, now a male, tries to prove himself that I am a male by exercising his physical attributes. What are the physical attributes? His masculinity, okay, his muscles, his position wherever he is. Okay, so we have some circles where that is dominated by males. If a female comes there, the male tries to prove to the female that he is a male. All right, and the female should respect him. Okay, that is the kind of idea I'm talking about. So a male tries to prove himself by exercising the physical and positional attributes. But a man tries to prove himself by achieving the purpose he is designed for, which is both a physical, mental, and spiritual exercise. A man tries to prove himself by achieving the purpose he is designed for, which is both a physical, mental, and spiritual exercise. Now, quickly, I want to give us examples. In the Renaissance period, we see an example of a real man. If you Google, you will see something like the Renaissance, an example of Renaissance men. A Renaissance man is a man that is understood to be rounded in all ways. So, for example, he uses his abilities and his capabilities, to affirm who he is by becoming all he can become. For example, we have examples of men like Leonardo da Vinci, an example of a Renaissance man. He was a painter, he was a sculptor, he was a humanist, he was a scientist, he was an architect, he was a philosopher, he was an engineer, and he was much more. So a man tries to realize himself by putting to use all his features to achieve a justifiable purpose. But a male and a male is different. Okay, some people are angry. Please tell us why you are angry. Okay, because you see, if we understand this topic and you are planning to marry, your life will change. Your thoughts will change. Your life will change, your thoughts will change, and your attitude towards your partner, your environment, your society will also change. Okay? All right. So let us continue. Another example of a man is Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin, who lived between 1706 and 1790, had a wide range of interests, including natural sciences. He was involved in literature. He was involved in politics. He was an inventor. He was a civil activist. He was a diplomat. He was a writer and a political theorist. If you are a man, you will try to realize yourself by using your mental capacity and capabilities, to realize yourself. You use your mental, physical, biological attributes to realize yourself. The next point is a male is just a representative of human beings living in a geographical area. In fact, those who count census, who do census, they differentiate the male from the female. That gives you the idea that a male is only differentiated according to statistics. If you're thinking about marriage, are you seen, or do you want to be seen as mere statistics, or do you want to bring change to your environment, to your society? A man is the foundation of any structurally efficient and effective system. If you see a system that is working, then men are at work. I'm sure if you are on the traffic and you have come to a point where you see a signpost, men at work. You see the traffic because some people are correcting what needs to be corrected. Are you a person that corrects what needs to be corrected? A man is a foundation. And what does his foundation mean? Foundation means strength. Foundation means stability. Foundation means safety. Foundation means peace. Foundation means security. Do you give strength to other people? Do you create a stable environment for other people? Or even for your own family? Do you ensure the peace and security of your environment? Are you responsible? Can you sustain the prosperity of your environment? A man is the foundation of the society. So if you're a man and you're thinking about marriage, then you should be thinking about how to put a system in place where people are secure, where people are strengthened, where people are at peace. You are responsible. You take responsibility, for things that are not in the right place. You try to put them right. The next point, we have just 4 minutes to end, is that a male is ruled by his drive to control, and to prove his male features. Okay? He is not concerned about how he wants to gain control. Okay? He is not concerned about, what the law says. Whether what he's about to do is lawful or unlawful. Whether it is morally right or immoral. Whether it is ethically correct or unethical. A man is just all about trying to prove himself, trying to achieve his purpose without thinking about these things as a male. But a man is different. A man is ruled by high moral standards, principles, values. A man respects the law and he tries to uphold them while he proves his manliness by bringing justice to his environment through the same high moral standards, principles, values, and the right use of the law. If you're thinking about marriage, do you obey the law? What are your moral standards? What values do you hold? Think about these things. The next point, a male is a person who forces authority on people. A male is a person who forces his authority on people, who tries to gain power by coercion. But a man is different. A man is naturally a person of authority. He has a natural charisma to win people's allegiance. A man's authority is not conferred upon, it's not, conferred upon him. It is earned by his attributes, by his achievements, by his activeness in society, by him trying to put correction where correction is meant to be put. Okay. All right. The last point I want to share with us today is a male is full of himself and does things for the purpose of gratifying his needs. Are you this kind of a person? All you do, all you are involved in any area of life, is just because of what you want to gain from it. A male does things, you may be doing something for the common good, okay? Common good. But the point is, what is the intention of you doing it? Is it because of the things that you want to get, the reward you want to get from it, or what exactly? But a man is different. A man is a people person. A man is someone who has the people at heart. A man is someone who stands in the gap, as the Bible says. Someone who ensures things are done with correctness, who follows standards, who tries to correct wrong standards and tries to put the right standards in place. A man goes out to seek justice and fairness, not willful, not with coercion, but with the recognized power, the recognized legal authority, with principles, with values. This is the kind of man we're talking about. So, a man is man enough if he can fulfill all these conditions I have given out as a man. A man is not man enough if he behaves like a mere male. A man is man enough if he behaves like a real man, as I have described. So, let's see what our people are saying so that we can come to a close, because our time is fast spent. If you are joining us, Eli Ninfayo, thank you for joining us. It's a good thing to see you here, but please, you may need to watch the video again, all right? Because we are just ending the live broadcast. So nevertheless, no problem. The video is always there. You can watch it on Facebook. It will be posted immediately we finish this live broadcast. Anyways, action point for this week. Action point for this week. Now, the action point simply is whether you are planning to marry or you're already married, learn to think and act like a man. Learn to think and act like a man. Please use these descriptions I have given as a guide to your daily activities. Thank you, people. Thank you, viewers, for joining us today. That's really a wonderful time together. I personally, I am refreshed with this live podcast, and I know also that you have been, it can also be beneficial to you as well. Thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you again. Okay, Sister Esther is reminding us about a question that Janet Wolf asked the last time. Janet Wolf asked the question, how can we get someone who is closed up, who is close to open up? All right, I'll quickly try to give us an answer. People have issues in their lives. That's why they close up. They do not open up, okay? But when they see someone who they can confide in, then they will definitely open up. And for them to find such a person, they must have passed the test of trust. They must have passed the test of trust. You cannot just tell people different things that are going on in your life, okay? They may give you different labels, okay? They may not understand you. But the moment you find someone who you have tested someone, over and over again, and the person has passed your test, it will be easy for you to open up to such a person that this is what's going on. So Jeanette Wolf, if somebody's around you who is closed up, who needs to open up, the way to do it is to try to gain their trust. If you gain their trust, the person will naturally open up. It's as simple as it is, but gaining trust is something very big. And the truth of the matter is, if you gain people's trust and later on you break that trust, you have wounded them the more. So it is better to be a person of integrity and be trustworthy than to pose yourself as someone who you're not. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. All right. God bless. See you next time. We are very sorry. Our original purpose of today's broadcast was supposed to be shared between Esther and our guests, but because of technical issues, we couldn't have it. But not to worry. We have it in mind. Soon we will have it again. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.